simplify your business with Google Tools. I'm Bridget, technical trainer here at Realty Executives New Jersey, and we are going to explore Gmail, Calendar, and Drive in this session today. So if you've never used Gmail before, if you've been using another email provider, you want to go to mail.google.com to get started. So in that respect then, to create and send an email after you open Gmail, you want to click on the Compose button that's in the upper left. It's got a little colorful plus sign there. And that will open up a new screen for you to enter your recipients, your subject, your message. And then on the bottom, you've got a couple of different buttons there where you can change the font or change the font color, add attachments, add an attachment from Drive, insert an image or a link, even some fun emojis. And then to the right of that box, there is a trash can if it's not the message you want to send. And on the left side, there is the blue send button. And that is how you send an email in Gmail. Now, they do have the undo portion. There's some caveats to that. I don't really recommend using the undo. You can if you want to, but I really don't recommend it. So to see new email that comes into your inbox, new emails are bold, which means they are on red. So by default, these replies are grouped into conversations, and that keeps the email together in a thread and keeps track of it much easier for you, and it saves space in your inbox as well. However, if you prefer to separate your existing email from your future email, you can turn conversation view off, and it's very easy to do. In the upper right corner of your screen, you will see a gear. That is your settings. So click on the gear, click on settings, and then go over to the general tab on the left side, or it should actually be the first one that's open there in front of you. Scroll down to Conversation View and select Conversation View Off. Don't forget, scroll all the way down to the bottom and click Save Changes. If you don't click Save Changes, nothing's going to happen. And of course, the most important thing, other than creating the email, is replying to the email. So here we've got a screenshot here in front of you here, where we've got 7 different places that are important in replying to an email. Number 1, down at the bottom there, is the reply button. Number 2, it's towards the top there, is that little arrow that's curving to the left. So that is to reply to an email within a thread. And number 3, of course, is the forward button there, which forwards the entire email. And number 4, if you want to forward an email within a thread, so not the whole email itself, just that one thread that's in the email, you need to click the 3 horizontal vertical dots there, and then click forward. And then number 5, those are the horizontal dots, and that is to see previous email in a thread and show the trimmed content. And then number 6, all the way up at the top of my screenshot, is to forward an entire conversation at the top. You can click those 3 vertical dots for more, and then click on forward all. And then number 7, which is also just above the reply and forward buttons there, to use a smart reply at the bottom of the email, click a suggested reply, and you can then edit the email before sending it. Now, to change recipients in the email, you can add and remove them by opening an email and clicking on the recipient's address itself. To add more recipients to an email, just simply type their email addresses into that to line. And to remove recipients next to their email address, just click that X and it removes them altogether. To change an email subject, next to the type of response, there's that little arrow that curves over to the left. You want to click the down arrow there that's with it, and then click on Edit Subject. And that will open up where you can simply type in a new subject. Now, when someone sends you an attachment, such as a photo or a document, you can see a preview of the attachment in the email itself. To see a full screen view and print, click the attachment to open a full screen view. And then to print it, you want to click that little printer icon in the upper right corner. To download the image or save it to your drive, you can point to the preview and click the arrow with the line underneath it, or save it to drive by clicking on the drive triangle that is within the preview itself. Now, we all have times when we are out of the office and are not going to be responding to email, so this is when you want to turn your vacation responder on or off. So when you're in your Gmail, on the top right, you want to go back to that gear and click on Settings again. Scroll down to the vacation responder and select vacation responder on or vacation responder off. If you turn on the vacation responder, just enter the dates that you're away and add your message. Then select who should get a response, if it's a certain someone, a group of someone, or if it's just everyone in general. And don't forget, of course, at the very bottom, click Save Changes. If you don't click Save Changes, nothing's going to happen. So the one thing that I get all the time is I used to use Outlook and I'd have folders for everything, and I come to Gmail and there are absolutely no folders. That's because Gmail has labels. Let me show you how it works. So, like I said, in other email programs, you may have stored emails in folders, but in Gmail, you use labels to categorize your emails. Labels are like folders, but with a twist. You can apply several labels to an email and then later find the email by clicking on any of its labels from the left side of the panel. You can also open a label in the left sidebar to see all the email with that label. You can nest labels within labels, kind of like you're able to do folders within folders. You can search for all email with that label. And you can set up your inbox as you prefer to see the labels on an email in your inbox to quickly identify different types of email. Or you could auto-archive emails to route it away from your inbox as you did with rules and folders. Okay, so how do we create these labels? Well, to create a label, in the top right, you want to click on that settings gear again and select Settings. Then you want to click on the Labels tab. Scroll to the Labels section and click on Create New Label. Enter the label name and click Create. You can also create nest labels, which are like subfolders. To create a label from an email, click the Labels, which is that little arrow that points to the right there, and then click Create New. Enter the label name and click Create. You can also click Nest Label Under and choose an existing label to place it under. The new label will automatically apply to your email. So now that we've created these labels, how do we apply them? Okay, here's how it goes. In your inbox, check the box next to the email that you want to apply a label to. Then you want to click your label on the left side of the screen. Check the boxes next to the labels you want to add and click Apply. You can also change the color of these labels. In the left panel, point to a label and click More. That's those 3 vertical dots. Point to a label color and choose that color, or click Add a custom color, but there are plenty to choose from. The change instantly applies to all the emails that are applied with that label. You can also remove it or change the color if you like, if you don't like that one. All you have to do is point to the label color and click Remove Color. You can also see all the email with a particular label in the left panel. Simply click the label's name. But how do we move an email from the inbox to the label? That's very simple. You can move email out of your inbox to labels the same way you did with your folders. In the inbox, check the box next to the email you want to move into a label, and at the top of the screen, click the folder with an arrow that's Move, and it will move to. We'll show you all your labels and simply move the email there that you want to move it to, or you can click on the email itself and drag it over to the label. It will no longer appear in your inbox, but it will still be applied with that label on the left side of the screen, just as you would have when you took the email into the folder that you wanted as well. You can also apply filters to email in Gmail as well. Sometimes we get that pesky spam that we don't really particularly like, but every now and then we want it, so we can move it off to the side for now. So you can manage your incoming email automatically with Gmail's filters. In the Gmail search box, click the down arrow. Enter your search criteria and then click Create Filter. Check the Apply the Label box and choose a label to automatically sort incoming email fitting your search criteria. And if you'd like email fitting your search criteria to be automatically moved out of your inbox, but want to be able to access it later, check the Skip the Inbox, Archive it. Then click Create Filter. Want to flag important email? Click the star next to an email in your inbox or an email with a conversation. To see all of your starred email in the left sidebar, click Starred. Archived email moves email out of your inbox, but stays under All Mail so that you can find it later. deleted email moves to the trash and gets permanently deleted after 30 days. To archive or delete email, select one or more email, and at the very top of your screen, click the archive, which is that square box with the down arrow, or click delete, the trash can. You can also point to a single email and click the archive or delete button as well. Okay, you've got an email that you swore you sent or received, whatever it might be, but you can't find it. That's okay because you can search your inbox. To search for keywords, type the word you're looking for into the search box. Gmail will suggest search terms as you type, then you can click a suggestion or click search. You can also narrow your search. At the right of the Gmail search box, click the down arrow. Add specific search criteria. For example, you can find an email from maybe Kyle or Doug that has an attachment with a particular time frame. And of course, we always want to make sure that we're keeping our signatures fresh and professional. You can include these signatures with your name, your title, your contact information, and you can update and change it at any time. All you need to do is click on that settings button again, the gear, click on settings, and in the general tab, scroll down to the signature section and create your signature. You can use the format bar to add text, colors, styles, links, pictures, whatever it is that you might like to add. But of course, don't forget to click Save Changes. You know what happens when you don't click Save. There are also some fun additions within the Gmail window itself. You can open your Google Calendar and events. On the right side of the screen, you want to click on the calendar, which has a little 31 number in the blue box there, and your daily events and mini monthly calendar will appear on the side. You can click on an event to open it and see the details. And you can also, when you open that event, at the bottom next to going with a question mark, click a reply. All in your Gmail. You don't even have to open Calendar to go and do any of that. And if you like to take notes, you're a particular note keeper there, you can use Google Keep. That's underneath that calendar button there. So it's the yellow box with the light bulb in it. That is Google Keep. And you can also open that with your Gmail as well. You can click the plus sign to take a note or a new list. That's got your the lines there with the little buttons next to it, so you can create a list. I like to do that when I go food shopping. You can also click a note and enter a message, and when you're done, click done. To access your calendar, you want to go to calendar.google.com. To create an event, click an empty time slot in the calendar grid and click Event. You can also click the Create button, kind of like in Gmail when there was the compose with the colorful plus sign, works the same way. Add your event title, date, time. You can also create an event using another calendar. Next to your name, click the down arrow and select the calendar. You can click more options, or then you can click Save and your calendar event has been created. You can also invite guests to your event. Open your event, and in the Guests tab, add guests to enter the first few letters of a person's name or email address in the box. Matching names and email addresses will appear as you enter text, and if you haven't sent to them before, that's okay. Just simply keep typing the email in that box. You then can click a suggestion if a suggestion has appeared, or simply take that name and it will be entered into the invite list. To mark a guest's attendance as optional, point to the guest name and click the Mark Optional, which is with the little person there. To allow guests to modify the event, invite others, or see the guest list under Guests Can, check the appropriate boxes. You can also add event details, video conferencing, and attachments to your events. Once you're in the event, you can also choose a time zone, as I've shown you here with the screenshot on the screen. Number 2 shows that you can set up a reoccurring event. And number 3 is the find a time when your coworkers might be free for this particular meeting or event that you've got. Number 4, down along the left side there, shows your event details, the meeting location, if you've got any notifications, and a couple of things there as well. Number 5, that's also within that area there, shows if you need for video conferencing. And number 6 at the bottom is your event description, where you can add details such as contact information, instructions, maybe a possible link for something. You can format the description by adding bold, italic, underline. You can add lists and links, but you cannot add pictures. And lastly, you can add attachments. So if you've got some kind of a picture or image you want there, that's where you can use your attachment. You can also attach documents. Maybe you've got instructions or directions on how to get to the certain place, whatever it might be, but you can add attachments as well. Google has made it really simple to respond to events. When you get an invitation to an event, it appears on your calendar, and you also get an invitation by email if you subscribe to email notifications, so I suggest that you do. And if you're using Gmail itself, you can respond to the invitation right within the email. It's pretty cool. So to reply to an invitation in the calendar grid, single-click an event to preview it. And at the bottom of the event preview window, select a response. Yes, no, maybe, one of those. Response options are available only in the preview window. They don't appear in the event details window. If you need to track attendance for your event, you can instantly see who's accepted or declined your invitation and who's proposed a new meeting time. You can check guest attendance in your calendar grid, single-click the event, and next to each guest, you'll see their response. You might have to click the down arrow to see their response. But you can also respond to a proposed new meeting in the time request. In your calendar grid, when you single-click the event, in the guest section, go to the proposal and click Review Proposed Time. To accept the new proposed time, click Save. To notify guests about the new meeting time, click Send. You can also choose whether to share your calendar publicly or with certain people. To do this, click on that gear again. It's kind of a holy grail of things, and then click on Settings. On the left, select your calendar and then click Access Permissions. Now you can select how you want to share your calendar. If you want it to be available publicly or maybe publicly on the web, check the Make Available to Public box. But if you want the calendar to only be available to certain people, maybe within your office, check the Make Available for My Organization box. Next to each sharing permission, you can then click the down arrow and choose whether you want to show your free and busy times. You have complete control over your calendar notifications. Open the calendar and click that gear again for Settings. And on the left, under General, click Event Settings. Click the notifications and select an option. You can choose Off, Desktop Notifications, or Alerts. To set up a sound for your incoming notifications, check the Play Sound box. On the left, select your calendar and then click General Notifications to manage what type of event notifications you receive. Next to each option, click the down arrow and select whether you want notifications on or off. You can also set event-specific notifications. Click your event and then click the Edit, like a cute little pencil. Next to notifications, or that bell, select Email or Notification. Select a time period for the notifications. And then if you want to add another one, you can click Add Notifications and repeat what I just stated. Little pencil, little bell, you're all good. You can choose how many days you see at a time in your calendar view. Select the option that's best for you at the top of your calendar. Now onto Drive, where you can keep all of your work in one place, view different file formats without buying extra software, and access your files from any device. To get started with Drive, go to drive.google.com. One way to store files in Drive is to upload a copy of them using your web browser. So when you're in Drive, you want to click on New, that colorful plus sign again, select File Upload or Folder Upload, and then choose the file or folder you want to upload, and click Open. When you see Upload Complete, your files have uploaded successfully and can be accessed in any browser or device that has Google Drive installed. To take a quick look at a Drive file, right-click it and select Preview. In the overlay, you can scroll down or up in your file, click the left or right arrow to see the previous or next file in Drive, open your file to edit it, print your file. Click Download, that's the arrow with a line under it, to download your file. Or click More, those 3 vertical dots again, to share, move, rename, and more options. To save a file to access later, download it one of the following ways. From the preview screen, click Download, that's the arrow with the line under it. From Drive, select a file, click More, those 3 vertical dots, and select Download. Okay, so did I save the file? Did I not save the file? Did I add it to my drive? Did I not add it to my drive? That can be difficult to remember, but that's okay because Drive, like Gmail, has a search feature. To search for files and folders in Drive, in the search box, enter a word or phrase. To help you search faster, Drive suggests search terms as you enter text. Click a suggestion to open it, or click Search, that little magnifying glass, to see a list of results. To share a file or folder with specific people, well, don't forget, you can only share files that you own or have access to. So in Drive, right-click the file or folder that you want to share and select Share. It's the little person with a plus sign next to it. And under People, enter the email address of the person or group that you want to share with. So now you have to click the Edit with the cute little pencil and choose the access level. You can click Can Edit, where collaborators can edit content as well as add comments. You can click Can Comment, which only happens for select files, but still collaborators can add comments, but they can't edit the content. And then you have Can View, which was kind of obvious. People can view the file, but they can't edit it and they can't add comments. Everyone that you share with receives an email with a link to the file or folder. You can also add a note which will be in the email body itself that will notify people of what might be contained within the file that you're sharing. And then when you're ready to share, click Send. Well, that was certainly a lot of information, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at any time. This concludes our session for today. See you next time.